What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, ATruckerNamedJay. Checking in, man. In this video, despite how much of a good mood that I'm in, I actually want to talk about how bad this year has been. And I'm not just talking about as far as emotional and all that. I'm talking about like actually on paper. See, here's the thing. When you're a truck driver, or really with any job or business or, business venture, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Period. They just don't, unless they've been fabricated by a liar, which that's happened in trucking too, but we ain't gonna get into that. But, this has been my worst year in trucking, man, and, I thought long and hard on whether or not I wanted to make this video, because it really is embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? But, I just live by the whole macho of live your truth. It may be a corny cliche saying at this point, one I first heard from Charlemagne the God, but it works, man. When you live your truth, nobody can use it against you. When you live your truth, can't nobody. See, one of the things what's so popular today, as far as YouTube truckers is concerned, in our little pocket of YouTube, what is so popular now is, quote unquote, exposing. Everybody wants to expose everybody for doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just the thing that's done, whether we exposing pictures, whether we exposing phone conversations, which I think is the corniest shit ever, exposing other people's family, exposing just like on some Cheaters type shit. Like, you ever seen the show Cheaters and how they be tracing text messages and following people around, recording them, doing stuff they shouldn't be doing? That's what YouTube has become. And, that's why, I really don't participate with the association of too many other YouTubers, because I'm just not going to get myself put out there like that. I don't got nothing to hide, but at the same time, why mess with people who have those intentions? Like, once you see that what someone is willing to do, like, you would be foolish. See, a lot of people are foolish because they see somebody do something and they think, oh, he would never do that to me. She would never do that to me. Let me explain something to you. People will do anything to anybody. I've seen people do things to their best friends, family, whoever. So, but anyways, that's just a little off subject. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there. But I want to talk about my worst year as a truck driver, which is this year of 2019. This has been my worst on paper year in trucking. Yeah. Maybe my first year, but I just have no way in tracking down that money. But then again, my first year, I didn't really start getting in the real full swing of things as far as getting paid to drive the truck until April. You know what I'm saying? Middle of April, somewhere like that with Trans Am. So and then it was my first year, so whatever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up some screenshots that I'm gonna screenshot and screen record. I wish I could screen record on my note, but I can't. That's why I got to keep the iPhone around. I sat down the other night and actually did it with D-Raj, and I wanted to calculate how much money I have made so far this year as a truck driver. And, I knew I hadn't made a lot just because I spent a lot of time at the house during spring. But, I just didn't know that I didn't make damn near anything. So, let's start off the year. January, I was with Great Wide, pulling loads out of the port going to Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, upstate New York, places like that, making about, on average, $1,400 to $1,700 a week. Unfortunately, that was only maybe 3 weeks out of January, because Great Wide did terminate me, if you been under a rock. So I would say for the month of January, let's be nice and round it up to $5,000 in January. After January, it got bad. I did the calculations I can't remember exactly when I started with HUD, nor can I remember when I left them. I want to say maybe May, but so February, March, April, May, so about for a 4-month period. Majority of my checks that I got from the guy at HUD were via Cash App. I know, sounds like the dumbest shit in the world, but it was convenient. And rarely were any of those checks, considered, I guess, decent checks. Most of those checks were actually pretty trash. I'm just gonna be honest, they're pretty trash. So over the course of 4 months, I think if the screenshot is correctly posted, you'll see that from that Cash App account, I only made $3.2 thousand from my time there. I think it should be about 5 payments, but I only made $3.2 thousand over the course of those 4 months. Now, I think I did get 1 or 2 checks through Bank of America. I just didn't feel like going that far back on my Bank of America summary. So let's just round that up to $4,000. Yeah, because it couldn't have been that. Those couldn't have been no big checks. So now, from January of this year until the end of May, really until June, because I didn't get my first check with Marley until June 5th, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the correct day on the calendar. So June 5th. So you're talking about a full, a full six months. January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, five months. We're in the beginning of the 6th month of the year, and up until that point, I had only made $9,000. Man, that's I don't even know if I want to divide that, man, but I'm gonna do it. Just, live your truth, woohoo, man, oh man. So let's take 9,000 divided by 5. That's $1,800 a month, man. That is pathetic. That's pathetic. So, anyways, let's keep going. So, I did the math on Marley, and I think if I remember correctly, and I'll post either the screenshots, or I'll post the video recording of me scrolling through all my checks since June. But I think when I did the math on those, I made from June up until last Friday, being the first Friday in November, I've only made $16,000 with Marley. $16,000. So if you take 16,000 and you add that 9,000, it's not a lot of money, man. Hell, round it up, $30,000. So going into my 4th year of trucking, where 4 years, into trucking, man, I feel like everybody should be at bare minimum $65,000 to $75,000. I mean, unless you are deliberately choosing a trucking job that pays less because it may provide more home time, or it's less work, or it's one of those, dropping hooks all the time, or whatever. At 4 years of truck driving experience, if you're not making $65,000 to $75,000, it's because you're choosing not to make that. And I'm not choosing that. Trust you me. I wish, I was making that. So my worst trucking year so far, and I had to ask myself, why? What happened? How did it get to this point? And to be honest with you guys, I just think that, number one, Great Wide firing me was such a crucial blow. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, I almost ain't come back from that one. That one really, really, really hurt. Because up until that point, I had really never been fired from a job. At least not a job I cared about, you know what I'm saying? And I was starting, nah, not even starting. I had found my balance with Great Wide, man. I'm talking about, you know, my home relationships were better. You know, the money, we had the money. It was amazing. Like, we were on pace to have a 5-digit bank account, you know, rather soon with Great Wide. You know what I'm saying? You know, my wife's babysitting service, all that money was just extra money. You know, not like now where we're kind of, you know, depending on it just a little bit more. But that was just like play money or savings money, if you will. You know, we were going to the fucking casino every 2 weeks with my boy E-Rock. You know, I actually gave E-Rock, check this out. I actually had given E-Rock, which is a childhood friend, not childhood, but early 20 friend, whatever. Hell, I'm still in my 20s. I've known E-Rock since I was like 18, so about 10 years. And he had hinted at me that he had wanted to get into trucking and he just didn't know. So I had gave him $500. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I gave him $500 in January for him to go get his CDL from Shipper's Choice in Newport News, Virginia. He never went. He never went, to my understanding. And I never got my money back, so I'll never do that dumb shit again. But that's just how much money I was making, to the point where it was just like, okay, $500. Yeah, man, go change your life. Pay me when you can. But anyway, so I think getting fired from Great Wide was just, that was tough. Probably the biggest blow of my trucking career. But anyway, so we got past that. We went to HUD, and HUD just was not it. It just was, you know what I mean? I went at the worst time of the year for the port, right after the holidays, and it just never picked up. Never picked up, man. I mean, and I was there every day trying to make it work. You know, sitting for 12, 13 hours a day some days, just trying to, you know, make fucking $300 a day, $400 a day. And I still had to split that with the owner, so it just wasn't the time that I was out there just sitting waiting on loads. It just wasn't profitable, man, at all. It just wasn't. So I left HUD, and then I, you know, at one point I had the whole plan to, okay, I'm gonna go back to Swift. Swift wouldn't take me because of the ticket. Getting a little toasty here. Bear with me. Hopefully that outside interference isn't too loud. But you know, I wanted to go back to Swift. Swift wouldn't take me until like June. So in the meantime, I was just, you know, I was just kind of like, okay, fuck it, I'll just wait on Swift. But then I tried to go to US Express. Wanted to go to US Express and lease a truck and train. Well, they DOT, they had this extra physical, and because I'm obviously not in any type of healthy shape, I just didn't even give it a chance. I didn't even go, because I didn't want to go out there and fail a physical and get sent home. Then when June came, I think maybe 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave to go to Swift, I just so happened to be on Craigslist, and I came across Marley. Called the dude, found out it was a black-owned company, man. That was the selling point. Never do that shit again. But nah, I ain't gonna say that. Support black-owned. Support organized black business. Let's do that. Let's not just be supporting anybody. Let's support organized black business. Because I think what we do is we see a black business as black people, and we sometimes give them the benefit of the doubt, whereas we wouldn't give that to the other man. So we got to stop giving it to the black man. If you're going to start a business, start it right. Just like you don't want nobody asking your business for discounts and shit like that. Well, we don't want a bunch of runaround and bullshit when it comes to dealing with black-owned business. That's just me speaking, but whatever. So I found this company, and I started running out of the port again. Now, I knew that this wasn't gonna be the most highest paying thing, but it was gonna keep me home, whereas Swift was gonna take me away from home. You know what I'm saying? And you know, after about a month or two of really like a month and a half, because I think he first told me about the butane hauling, I want to say like middle or end of June, beginning of July. He told me about the butane hauling and how, you know, there's gonna be all this money and da 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 da, and really at around May, June, I was really just trying to find something to get by until I could get back to Great Wide. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how much I really enjoyed working at Great Wide. And you know, a lot of times when you get fired from the job you really like, you know, you never get a chance to go back. So, you know, I was just trying to wait for that opportunity. But when this company came calling, it was just like, okay, maybe this is something I can grow with as well. You know, maybe this could be my new Great Wide. You know, matter of fact, let me backtrack. Originally, when I came, he was running out of the port, and I told him how I was running at Great Wide. Like, yeah, man, I was doing the OTR runs, and he originally was supposed to be trying to get me like those type of runs. Those runs never came. I think I went to Georgia one time. That's when I learned about having relationships with customers and steady accounts. You know what I'm saying? Because Great Wide got a lot of look, I'm about to just praise Great Wide the whole video, right? But anyways, Great Wide has a lot of accounts that they've had for so long that they're damn near the only ones that's getting that contract, that freight. Whereas with Marley being a newer company, they have only had their authority since 2018. They were still trying to find, I guess, those type of customers, if you will. So that being said, it just wasn't the consistent good freight that I had at Great Wide. So anyways, but when I first came aboard, I was trying to do them long OTR runs. They didn't have those, and so I was just doing regional runs, you know, making what I was making. Like, okay, you know, it's better than nothing. And then we was told about the butane contract. When they told us about the butane, well, they told us gas, but you know, butane, gas, same shit. Boom is boom. You know, that's when we kind of got, at first I had turned it down, because remember, I didn't want to leave the house. I did not want to leave the house. I wanted to stay home and try to make as much money as I could being home. But after some time and thinking, I said, you know what? I hate that sound. You know what? Let's give it a try. And so I dealt with the bullshit pay that I was getting, waiting on this. But I just thought it was sacrifice. Let me explain something to you about sacrifice. Sacrifice is good when the ends meet. It's when the end destination is worth it. You know, it's not sacrifice when you do it and it don't lead to anything. It's just stupid. And that's what I've learned. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I sacrificed, or at least I thought I was sacrificing for a great paying gig. You know what I'm saying? And now that we're here, man, I can't help but feel like I've just wasted most, if not all, of this year trying to chase big money. And I think that is, if someone was to ask me, what do I believe the mistakes were that led to this happening to me this year, I think it was two major ones. The speeding ticket. No, actually three. One was getting the speeding ticket like a dumbass around Thanksgiving. That's number one. Number two was not fighting the ticket. Just fucking paying the damn thing. You know, that's number two. And number three, chasing money. I just was chasing money, man. I just was trying to find that, you know, in baseball terms, I was swinging for a home run every time. You know, if it was football, I'm trying to go for the 50-yard bomb every time. If it's basketball, I'm trying to shoot from Steph range every time. You know what I'm saying? Versus just taking the consistent layup or the consistent two base hit, or taking the consistent, you know, 10 to 15 yard pass. I was trying to get it all. I was trying to get it all on one swoop, and it just never came. this year. It just never came. You know, this butane thing has turned into a DUD dud. I mean, my sweet Jesus, we are in the second week of November, and it is just nowhere near being what it was supposed to be. Not even close. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn, man. Here we are in November, and just going over these checks and the money that I've made, it's just been bad. It's been all bad all year round. But you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not upset. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not depressed. I'm none of that shit, because at the end of the day, maybe this is what I had to go through to appreciate when I go back to Great Wide. Maybe this is what I had to go through to really, really learn and have it pressed in my forehead that all money ain't good money. And if you can make a consistent dollar versus a seasonal big riches, I'll take that consistent dollar, man. You know, especially when that comes with more balance for my family and, you know, more time to... I lost the most weight I've ever lost in the last, say, 3 years being at home. I never have lost weight on the road, ever. Because once I get to a point where I'm sitting for a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, I'm just not going to do anything but eat. Eat and watch my phone, you know, versus being at home. You know, I was able to go on walks with my wife. You know, I did my water fasting. You know, I got down to 399 pounds last year. 399, I think it was like 397 if I'm not mistaken. But I had got down, and I was on my way down, but I think that's when I had went back over the road. I left NBI and went back over the road. So, you know, don't cry for me, which I'm sure y'all not anyways, but I'm right where I need to be, even if it's not where I want to be. I had to learn this lesson. I had to take this L, as harsh as it may have been. And I feel like I'm going to be all right, because I made $28,000, or excuse me, rounded up $30,000, and I'm not in no risk of getting evicted. I'm not, my lights ain't gonna get cut out. And that's a big part of my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, wifey has held it down. And some people may consider me not being a man because my wife had to step up. Hey man, that's marriage, my nigga. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. There was times when my wife wasn't working and I held it down, and vice versa. We did what we had to do for us to maintain, period. It ain't always gonna look pretty. It ain't always gonna look how you want it to look. But as long as it get done, don't nobody give a fuck. You dig what I'm saying? Because you'll fuck around and let somebody who ain't getting it done criticize how you getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man. We here. We still here. We still drawing breath. We still, you know, have an opportunity to go back and make a consistent dollar at Great Wide. And for that, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that I feel like I've gone through the worst year in my trucking career, and I've gone through the worst year in a long time since before trucking, and I'm still able to just talk about it and recover and move forward. Some people don't recover from shit like that. They just don't. Because all it takes with this CDL, man, is one mistake. Just one. One mistake could end it all. And if you ain't got the bread, if you ain't got the nothing to fall back on, that could be it, man. You could turn around and be the guy at the truck stop begging and asking for money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, that might be an extreme over-exaggeration, but is it? With the way cost of living is set up these days, and if you live somewhere like Virginia, they don't let you get behind on the rent like they used to. You know, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you could get behind on the rent 2 months, maybe 3 months, and still be able to fight back. These days, man, if the rent is due on the 5th, if you ain't paid that bitch by the 16th, they trying to put you out. No joke. They trying to put you out. So, I know this is a long video. If you watched it to this point, I definitely appreciate you, man. But this is where I'm at, man. I'm happy because I can see the storm that I've walked through, and I'm on the other side. I honestly feel that way. I feel like I'm at my turning point of my trucking career. I really do. It's my career. That shit always made me laugh. But as always, man, stay safe, stay positive, stay productive, man. God Family Trucking, and remember, take care of that hustle, and the hustle will take care of you. 9 times out of 10. I'm gone, man.